I'm like, okay, I am sorry to both our guests for that, but you know, Fred joined and started lying.
Okay.
I don't have any passwords right now.
It's okay.
Oh, wait a second.
I can't get on the server either because the password that Dreamset is telling me is wrong.
Oh, you mean the server?
I mean both.
Well, I sent you the one for the room.
Yes.
I put in the server password. Don't worry.
Anyway,
Also,
the mission has
fun
started, so can I get started?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's my job to get started.
Okay.
later, nudes.
Okay, leave Fred. Okay, anyway, sorry everyone. Barb, you're joining.
Leave admin.
Hey, I used to be that. Sorry. Anyway, yes.
Used to?
Yeah. Background. The Battle of Khe. Oh, yeah, this is the Battle of Sanh, for anyone who doesn't know. So, the Battle of Sanh, 21st of January to the 9th of July 1968, was conducted in the Sanh area of northwestern Khun Ter.
Quang Tri.
Quang Tri.
Yeah, that is Quang Tri.
Quang Tri. Okay. Province. Republic of Vietnam, South Vietnam, during the Vietnam War. The fall of Lang Vây occurred on the 7th of February 1968 when tanks of the PAVN's 203rd Armored Regiment, supported by the infantry of the 7th Battalion, 66th Regiment and 4th Battalion, 24th Regiment of the 304th Division, assaulted the camp. Jesus. Area of operations. There are some pre-placed defenses for defenders on the map. The AO is split by a large river. A bridge crossing has been added downstream for attackers. Notes: Blue 4 have been giving a tow missile with 4 rockets. The tow is hard spawned on the map and can be moved during safe start. Op 4 has been giving 2 light tanks with limited HE. Please note, the vehicles/equipment allocated to each squad at the start screen. Data terminals have been replaced by Vietnam-era American radios. Mission rules: swimming is allowed.
It's kind of cool.
The game mode is a terminal, it's uplink, so it is a 90-second hack time with 3 terminals. Mission variables, just the normal stuff, maximum view distance of 900 meters. Okay, and I will do Blue 4's loadout.
Real quick, I want to note for this round, first one we've seen over the night, the RPGs, the B-41s are only being given 1 round, not 3.
Hmm.
Go ahead for uniforms.
Okay. Blue 4 will be wearing the Vietnam-era U.S. Army SOG kit. Their loadout will consist of XM-177s, M14s, trench guns, and an M1911. Supports will have the M63A Commando with an M60 Shorty. Baby. LAT having the M72 Law, Recon having the M40 Sniper Rifle Camo, M45 Submachine Gun for the silence, or with another choice of an M3A1 Grease Gun, and Crew and Aviation will also have the Grease Gun. As for their assets, they have 1 BGM 71 tow launcher, as mentioned in the brief, an M2 HB50 cal static, another 1919 30 cal static. Both high.
500 rounds.
An M15 1A1 Patrol Vic with a 30 cal on top, and an M51 gun truck with the minigun on the back.
So just important things to add: the patrol variant has the 50 cal and a forward 30 cal, and then the gun truck has 2 side-mounted M60s, and the M134 minigun is mounted on the rear with 2,000 rounds. Otherwise, Op 4. For us, it would be called the NVA. If we were in Vietnam, they would call themselves the PAVN. Learned that last round, and hopefully I'll remember it this time. Regardless, they are dressed up in what appears to be pith helmets and some olive, if not slightly tannish camo. Assets, they have the 2 Type 63 tanks. They said they had reduced HE capacity. Going over what they specifically have, they have 4 HE frag rounds, 2 high explosive anti-tank rounds, 2 armor-piercing rounds, 1 HVAP round, funny enough, and 1 Willie Pete round. And then they've only got 2 50-round boxes for the command disc up top, and then 2 250-round coax boxes for, I believe it would be a 7.62 coax mounted on the tank gun. And then a BTR-40 with a Dishka, 8 mags of 50 rounds, so enough there. Otherwise, they're going to be on foot for this one. Now, 3 terminal sites. One is way over the river to the east in just some obscure bunker. What is kind of nice about it is it's a lot of open area to get towards it. maybe we could see some defensive lines put down from across the bank to try to lock that area down. But otherwise, I doubt Blue 4 is going to actually try to hunker that position down specifically, whereas Terminal 2 and 3 are actually along the military base here. So, I don't know what Blue 4 is planning, but what are your thoughts on it, Dream?
I think, honestly, if it's anything to go by FNF, because swimming is actually allowed, I doubt they will actually, focus on Terminal 1. I don't think they're going to touch that. They might send a single squad, maybe an X-ray, who will act as a forward observer, but I think Terminal 2 and 3 are going to be their mainstays because it's just a really, really nice area. You just have this long stretch of land.
Send it. Total guy, thanks for the 10-month resub. Hope you enjoy the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of
the other good thing about this position is that you can actually see the bridge, meaning because obviously the Type 63s are not submersible.
They are.
Oh, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, there's. Oh yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
Well, even though you wouldn't want to do that because it's a tow launcher.
Yeah, even then, it's going to be dangerous to go across the river or go across a bridge. So I can see the tank being pushed down just the further northwestern side,
yes.
Instead of going anywhere near that bridge. So if I'm honest, Terminal 1 will be abandoned, bar a few guys, and then they're going to just hold this line because it's just a really nice area. The line will make it a little bit difficult, but I think they've just got a really nice line of sight.
I mean, across the water towards the west from the objective, you also have a few bunkers and towers. You could set up the 30 cal or 50 cal in just to kind of suppress that area as Op4 moves in to take the terminal. So it would be possible to turn it to a kill zone, but at this range, I doubt they're going to hit anything. But if we have any engineers for Blue 4 taking the explosives, this would be a really nice area to set some explosives up to slow down any Op4 guys trying to move in to make that into a nice kill zone. I think that'd be pretty good.
So another interesting thing is where they're actually going to place this tow launcher, because it obviously can be moved.
Thanks for the
Are they going to place it so it's overwatching the bridge, or are they going to place it further back so they can watch their flanks?
Hope you get a nice kick
It
out
only has 4 rounds, but it is wire guided, so you're just going to be very, very careful with your shots and make sure what you're hitting is going to land. Because a tow launcher, because a tow launcher should be able to take the Type 63 down in at least one hit, one maybe engine hit, rear hit. Maybe it won't take it down the front hit, but it will definitely.
No, it will.
It'll definitely deactivate it.
It will kill a light tank like that. One hit. It's a very powerful missile. You could take out a T4 with tow, no problem.
The only problem is obviously if you put it in a position where it's going to see that bridge, it might show up to the Type 63s, and one shell from HE will just decimate it.
Yeah, but what are the odds that the tank's going to be able to spot the small tow somewhere hidden compared to the tank being spotted first?
I guess if it fires and the other tank can see, but I guess if it's firing, then it's already locked in on its target. So
I don't know. For this AO, I think Op4's biggest hurdle is getting to Terminal 1. I could see Blue 4 also abandoning Terminal 1 and trying to rush over to that small bridge just to hold the bridges themselves, but the fact that those tanks are amphibious does allow for a few options for Op4 to cross.
So an interesting thing here is it was stated in the brief, if you look to the southeast of Terminal 1, you'll find a very, very small rickety bridge that allows for travel across the water.
If you look on the northern bank, left of that tall tree, you can see on the left side the lever to control the bridge.
Oh no. Well, I mean, they'll only be falling into the water, which I guess isn't that bad this time.
It's filled with piranhas.
Oh god, no.
Even though piranhas are only in South America.
We
got some just for FNF.
Yeah. Pretty penny. But yeah, if Op4 really wanted to obviously we're in the sky and we can see where Blue 4 are placing their units now, but honestly, I think the Red 4 command, who's Depso, who I know he's commanded quite a few times, I think he's reasonable enough to come to recognize that good chance. The Terminal 1 will not be watched. It'll be watched from afar, but it won't be in play. So he might just send his X-ray squad up to get it, which I think would be the best squad to send.
I do agree with that, but let's take our remaining 5 minutes to reintroduce our guests for tonight. I think that because we separated the streams, because there's always a break between EU and NA, let's go ahead and have them introduce themselves.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Egg Beast, and I'm basically the project coordinator for the Sog Prairie Fire DLC, and I've been a modder in Arma about 15 years or something. 10 years, maybe 12 years. I don't know.
He's lost
Too
count.
long. Too long. Yeah. Big fan of Vietnam war history, and worked on the unsung mod for 7 years, and now been managing the DLC team for the last 3 years. Having a lot of fun with it. If I sound a bit jaded, it's because it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to be with you guys till 4 in the morning. So I'll try not to nod off in the background, but I'll be happy to answer questions, and also, comment on the terrain and the tactics and all the stuff in terms of real life situation.
Of course.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you in.
I'm not sure if Ken's still with us.
It's still here.
Oh,
There he is.
There we are.
Well, if you'd like to reintroduce yourself to anyone who may have not been able to make it for the EU stream.
Right, thank you. Yeah, Ken Bowray was a 1-0 at Command and Control North, RT Idaho, RT Sidewinder, and follow-on service in Cambodia with one of the programs, and finished up a few years later as Commanding General of U.S. Army Special Forces, and later retired as Major General.
So we got a stacked casting team tonight.
and then became famous by making the Sog Prairie Fire DLC with us.
Well, once again, I thank both of you for joining us tonight.
And for anyone and for anyone who doesn't know, sorry, meeting. Tonight, this stream is, FNF is partnered. FNF and SOG are partnered with MVG. You're better off explaining this one if you want to. What they do.
Yeah. So we're basically fundraising at the in this event, which is going to run till 7 p.m. Eastern or midnight UK time tomorrow. So it's like a whole weekend of fundraising fun. And the idea is to generate more funds to put into veteran support. And that's delivered by another former 1-0 from McLean SOG, Dick Thompson, who's a legend in his own right, who has a book coming out this year as well, which should be fantastic to read. Basically, Dick's delivering a stress resilience system to veterans directly with the help and support of the Military and Veteran Gamers charity, and MVG have a Discord where veterans can go and they can get peer-to-peer support, and and they do a lot of like gaming groups together and events, and charity fundraising to support veterans. They provide computers to members so that they can get on and game with their friends, and they do a lot of really supportive peer-to-peer work, to keep people who've left the military or still serving in the military, keep their spirits up. They have a buddy network and that kind of thing. And then with Dick's system, adding in on top of his stress resilience system, it's about sort of, beefing up people's capability to cope with the stresses of life, and especially the post-military world, post-deployment world. So very important piece of work to do, and that's why General's here with us, and why we're here till 4 in the morning supporting as well. So there is a donation link, and we're really keen to try and hit our target of $10,000.
For you guys, it's in the exclamation point mission command.
So a really quick thing is we are actually at $3,466 thanks to Ken, actually, who just recently donated $200. So
thank you, Ken.
Yes, thank you very much, Ken.
2,200. So we've jumped a lot. Did we break that final barrier before the start of FNF?
Yes.
Yes, we broke 3K before the end of EU, and we broke the final barrier before FNF.
It's going to be exciting to wake up in the morning like Christmas to see where we've got to.
I literally said just when Liru, you had gone by this point, and me and Rob were talking. It was like well, the NA target is 3,500, and now we are $34 off that. So you know.
So we'll be playing for 12 hours tomorrow, and Ken will be in with us playing.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Yeah, we're in a boat.
Yeah, I was telling Whiplash, I think the longest up I've ever been in was about 4 hours. So this is going to be a treat.
Also, to anyone who's thinking about donating, some little things to push you over the edge. If you donate
Yes, they did remove
$10,
Anders rockets.
you'll be in with a chance to win a signed. I keep forgetting the name, but it's sort of a signed
RT Idaho.
RT Idaho sort of frame thing. Sorry, I'm losing myself.
Team plaque, I suppose.
Team plaque. There you go. Yeah, there you go. A signed team plaque. $10, and you're in a chance to win that. And if you donate $20, and if the 10K target is hit, you will be in for a chance to win a very, very, very cool looking and powerful PC.
Which is also signed by Ken and Dick Thompson and John Striker Meyer.
Why?
3 fantastically, heroic, legendary SOG 1-0 recon team leaders who've supported the charity work and the game development.
So yeah, you have nothing to lose by donating if you have a couple extra dollars.
We all want it.
I want it.
So whoever gets it is going to have the most Gucci PC, in the Arma world.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the round.
Real quick, I gotta bring up one thing because a few people in chat asked. There was a goal for $1,000 to remove Iander's rockets for FNF. 1,005. My bad. They broke that goal, so Iander is forbidden from picking up an AT launcher throughout the entire event. I don't think he's here
tonight, unfortunately.
He was here for EU, but is he not here for NA?
No, I don't think he's here for NA.
I think, like me, he must have passed out by drinking too much.
That would be an Iander thing to do, but that was at least a thing in the EU match, so.
Why is the blue square still there, but we've apparently started?
I don't know. We were having some weird issues with round 2 for EU where it wasn't putting them back in safe start.
Yeah, people could just leave.
I think the map's just glitching out slightly. Go ahead, sorry.
The MVA attacking from the east. So, of course, in the real battle, they came from the north. I think the northwest, because that's where Laos is up that way, and they kind of rolled over the top Lang Bay Special Forces camp, which is what you can see there, which is deployed from the northeast to the southwest of the blue square. And it was actually defended by M72 Laws and initially, which I think may have stopped 1 or 2 tanks, but then there were too many and they overwhelmed the site, which was some guys actually held out in one of the bunkers and they were driving tanks on top of the bunker trying to collapse it on the guys and dropping CS gas down through the air vent into the bunker. So the poor guys inside were getting absolutely hammered with gas. And tank trying to collapse the bunker.
Wow.
They eventually cobbled together a special forces relief team, I think, which went in and basically booted the NBA out of there and took camp back. But there was a lot of casualties.
First contact there, Skipper catching out Aussie Wookie and his battle buddy. I don't think Aussie's gonna get out either.
No. So an interesting playthrough done here. Instead of actually actively defending Terminal 1, they've decided to put up a blocking force with Charlie instead to block the advance, because while Alpha are crossing the bridge, probably to go and support the assault from the other side, Redfall probably thought they could just walk up on it. So I think it's a pretty nice idea. Is that X-Ray dead though? No, 2 of X-Ray are dead. The rest of them are running around.
Those are the tanks. Yeah, the tanks are fording.
Yep, they're trying to cross the river.
Oh, they're very slow though.
This is where you hope Arma physics continues to work.
Yeah.
Continues. You imply that it works in the first place.
I'm not liable for any accidents that happen with this tank.
Don't worry, if any vehicle accidents happen, they'll restart the round, right, Liru?
Oh, right, Dream? Like last Vietnam.
Guys, Cyrus
Oh, there it goes.
Guys, Cyrus is dead.
The driver figured out what buttons do what, and now it's speeding across that river.
Oh, look at it go.
Wow.
Guys,
Why
Cyrus
Why did
is
Cyrus
dead.
die?
I don't know, he just died.
What did they do to
He fell
him?
over.
Does he have a pulmonary embolism from
There's a
the stress?
knocked over stoner nearby, but I don't know.
there's
Something
blood
hit
and-
him. Yeah, there's a
He just
blood
took his gun.
stain. Yep, someone. I would take that too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd take
stoners
that
are
gun.
awesome.
Why is he dead?
I
Do they
don't
have
know why.
respawn?
This is
No.
one life again,
No,
so
yeah,
it's
one life.
One life event. Wow.
So the third round of EU, because Barb obviously wasn't here, wasn't one life. It was multiple life. It was a sustained assault.
How's Tank 2 doing? Is it across as well?
it is trying.
It's my guys.
Oh, there we go.
They're signed up as my community tonight.
Gur is going to be our fourth on the boat, by the way, Dream.
Yeah, I know.
Gur?
I saw. Yeah, I remember. Go. I saw.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice crew tomorrow.
It
I'm
is
excited.
going. This is going. We're going to make so many songs.
A traveling
How
Vietnam
many-
river band.
How many sleepless nights we had to get this thing to actually ford rivers properly? So I'm really pleased to see it performing tonight.
That's good to see.
It looks so simple, but you know, it took.
It never is. It really never
Yeah,
is.
the genius of Apollo, who's our lead vehicle encoder, he's so good at this stuff. Make it
Oh,
work.
I'll be honest, I thought you were going to make a Greek joke there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
well, he is a godlike character. Yeah.
yeah, Barb. I don't know if you saw. You know, Spoody from Millennial Hideout. No, Spoody. Am I saying the name right?
Ken.
Speedy? Yeah.
Spoody. Yeah, they played their first game tonight and got a kill, and vastly outperformed 90% of first timers in FNF. It's great, and I always like seeing new people come in, especially when they're part of my community.
Ken, do you know much about the history of the battle on the Langvey Special Forces camp?
I do have some, and Rob, what I will send you is a declassified after-action report. Probably try to get that out to you Monday, which will go into the specifics. It's the actual report.
Brilliant, thank you.
That'd be
Nice,
really
yeah.
nice to read.
Interesting to read.
Right,
We're okay to share that, I guess.
right. It is.
It's unclassified.
Yep.
Brilliant, thank you.
That's
Right.
awesome. Thank you very much.
So really interesting attack here from Redfall. They've taken no vehicles and have opted just for a full, like, you know, ground movement to keep himself.
Infantry,
Yeah, infantry.
only.
Just trying to stay as quiet. And if they are able to pull up all the way to the end of the tree line where the trees sort of break off and start becoming dead trees, you know, they'll have a really nice firing line.
Ladafell just flipped their, one of the tanks down the south.
Is it flipped or flip back and then flip
it's
over?
it's on its side, pretty solidly on its
It's
side.
wedged in a tree texture. I think they could unflip it, but
Yeah, no, there is an unflipping
All
thing.
right.
This is about to be very dangerous though.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
need to get everyone really far away from that tank.
I swear to God,
They're
if,
gonna go
if
for
my,
it.
If my community die by tank death,
by
in the
tank flip.
in the first fuck.
So those vines on that tree are probably the most hated piece of foliage in the whole of Arma.
Yeah.
We actually improved the fire geometry on that on those vines, so you can shoot around them without. But still, you know, if you try and squeeze a bit through that gap, you usually die.
Do you remember the last Vietnam where they did that the boat assault where they had to
my
drive
gosh.
the like tanks and like the boats off like the little platform someone just built in the middle of the sea and it went horribly wrong. And do you remember the vines?
That was Guadalcanal op, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they kept and at some point they drove one of the tanks or one of the bigger Vics. I don't know if it was a tank or if it
They
was a
flipped.
gun truck. They flipped a tank.
It was an amphibious tank with the two 30 cal guns.
Yeah, and then they drove one. Then they unflipped it and then drove one in between two vines and exploded.
And exploded. Yep, I remember that.
That's why you don't drive tracked vehicles to the jungle or any vehicles that are big
Now,
through a jungle.
Here's the one issue, though. I'm sitting over the Terminal 3 site right now. I can hear the engine of Gamma 1 right now from all the way over here. So Blue 4 is going to know that armor is coming up this route.
Yeah, it looks like everyone down there at Terminal 3 is already starting to look south pretty,
But
decisively.
if you obviously, because we're in the sky and we can see a lot of it, this is going to be perfect for Red 4, whose bulk force is on their north.
Keep
Is
an
there
eye.
fighting at the bridge? I just saw close proximity red and blue on the Liru screen.
Yeah, they're not far from each other. Red 4 are about to get the terminal and go right under Blue 4's noses, because the Red 4 force is just completely, sweep pie them.
Yep.
So this might work again in Red 4's favor, because Blue 4, addition to the tank, might think that the assault's coming on the southern side.
Well, it's going to be all about timing, I think, in the long run. Just when things happen to coincide.
Can't see much chance of getting across that bridge on foot. It's way too open, slow.
There you go. Now you'll see Charlie 1 trying to get eyes on and maneuver.
Yeah, Nato might be one of the first casualties if he sticks around there.
So one thing Go ahead.
Well, there's nobody watching the bridge right now, Blue 4, that I can see. There's a small detachment to the right side somewhere on the bank, or not?
Yeah, you've got Charlie HQ and Charlie 2 and Charlie 1, who are the closest force, and they were meant to act as a blocking force in case anything came from the north. But obviously, now that they know it's been hacked, they're going to think something's coming from the south.
They're
that's gonna
quite far back from the river. They're not using it as a bottleneck. The bridge.
They instead stayed on the northern side, I guess, not thinking that Op 4 is going to cross around. They've got Blue 4 X-Ray now going over the small bridge, trying to check things out. And then we had Arcor and someone else on the southern side. I wanted to bring this up earlier. Arcor is a log gunner, so he could take out one of these tanks if they try to cross. He just needs to wait for the right moment. The issue is there's going to be 2 tanks down there, and he only has 1 tube.
Yeah, but taking out 1 is better than the other. And considering I think most of them have forces in. If he can get the hit early, he'll get a few kills in addition.
The law does work pretty well.
Because he'll see the guy sitting on the back, because obviously it's not an internal passenger thing.
If those tanks are running out of cross room, all Arcor needs to do is just wait till he hears the tanks on water, and then he can poke his head out, get his easy shot, and move on.
Nice Terminal 1 gone.
To be honest, I wouldn't risk a shot at the thing in the water. There's a really high chance, because half the hull is submerged. I'd wait till it hits the riverbank when it's going slowly up the slope on the other side, and hit it in the side at that point.
Well, if he hits it while it's going down, he has a much better chance of hitting it in the engine.
Looks like Arcor is wanting to be a hero. He's got a one times law on his back, but he's got 2 Vietnamese tanks to deal with over here on the other side of this river.
Strangle you.
But he is going hunting for them. He definitely wants to investigate where they're going.
He's tracking by sound, I'm guessing.
Those engines are loud.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The problem for Arcor here arises if they do continue to just push round to the northwest and go all the way around and decide to come in from the most western road, just next to Hill 53. I mean, that works badly in the short term, but then obviously Arcor could just move onto the road and actually get a much better shot. But
And they have troops on the back of the tanks, right? They're not just solo.
Yes.
Yeah. Good, yeah. They've learned something from the Panzer Grenadiers then, because you don't ever want to send armor on its own without infantry.
And J-Law has been abandoned.
I think he dismounted. Now he's moving on foot.
I think he got out to try and help the driver, but then the driver figured it out.
Is Arcor going to go for a swim? There comes Golf.
I wouldn't be super surprised. Arcor is one of those players.
I thought they were about to go for a full rush over the... Oh, they are.
It's just hiding in the grass, hoping to catch the tank.
Now, if Arcor needs to, use his ears and figure out that,
They're in the water right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me get
it's gonna be
close.
hard for him to distinguish the fact that it's
Yeah,
like where its exact position is.
if
other
you're
than-
close to the tank, you can hear when it's in the water, but its engine noise is being drowned out by the other
Oh.
tank that's out of the water right now. But he is starting to move.
We hit 3,500.
Nice.
Nice.
Excellent.
Really?
Thank you, everyone.
Still got, what would that be, 5,500 to go?
No, but
6,500.
65.
I can't do numbers.
neither can I. Yeah, Ken, what do you think of these tanks moving around this back?
They're going to be vulnerable when they come out, as Rob said. I think the shots will be better. Just depends on where Blue is right up here to engage.
Where's the tow launcher?
Yeah, so our call.
They're very thin-skinned light tanks, aren't they? Type 63, PT-76 type tanks.
Yeah,
They're
PT-76, right? It's very light.
Yeah.
50 cal can go through them like butter.
Yeah, the only problem here is now Arcor, I think, is realizing that they're now behind him, which works decently in his favor.
I don't know where the tow launcher is.
But you know, it's still going to be an issue of avoiding the squads.
Right.
It's a very open terrain coming up to the camp, and you know that there's a lot of chance if you've got doors in the camp. As soon as you see those tanks, you take them out. That is what happened, I think, in battles. Was a few tanks were taken out with laws.
So,
And some,
honestly,
I think they were the early versions of the laws, like the ones we've modelled actually, with the when you take the end caps off, it just all falls apart. You can't put it back on very easily. It's not like the later ones where it's all on a hinge.
so Depso has just had like a stroke of genius and probably a little bit of luck, because they've just completely. I think Bluefall weren't set up, well enough in order to cover for anything that might come on the wings, because they've kept their cards so close to home, and really only sent out one squad, who's now coming to realize, I think, that they may have been duped.
Yeah, I think Blue 4 was expecting a more direct approach with those tanks, but Op 4, utilizing their amphibious capabilities, has been able to circumvent Blue 4's plan. So now Blue 4 has to completely fold onto the terminals themselves. So any chance at stalling for the clock is not going to work. And usually if the defenders can't stall for time, the attackers, I want to say more often than not, win than lose in that scenario.
So I've found the lore. It's next to Whiplash, and it's actually in a perfect position for the oncoming tanks.
Blue on blue.
Yeah, the tow.
Launcher. So that's slightly anachronistic as well, because they weren't in Vietnam until 1972. But they were responsible for tank kills against the Pavan used by the Arvin 72 onwards. But that's fine. We're all happy with it.
A little bit of creative liberty, I suppose.
Yeah, all they had was these early laws, and the very
Well,
early
yeah.
versions, they some of them actually just bounced off the tanks, so or failed to to follow the right trajectory.
To be fair, in EU round 1 we had Ho Chi Minh die. So
That's true. The war's already over.
yeah.
Though generals, yeah.
That would have been
Taken
easy, wouldn't it
over.
have been?
So Arcor's in a unique position to actually snipe one of these tanks. They're pulling back, but he's still just sitting there.
Interesting that they're making that call, because I actually played a mission on the ground the other week, right in this area, and assaulted this base.
Arcor's making a move.
Oh,
Honestly,
he does.
if I was this tank, I'd just hug the water and then go and see if I could take my chances going up the hill.
Well, they should be completely confident, because they didn't take any kind of fire when they first crossed it, so they shouldn't really be worrying about it much at all.
Is he literally going back?
I think he's repositioning so he can support from a different direction, or maybe he is heading down the stream.
They're gonna cross right in front of Arcor. He's getting the AT out.
But Egg's not wrong. The water can be such an annoying thing in Arma, and it could end up just completely screwing the shot.
He's going to have to take over a turret strike, and then that because it's rounded, Arma does actually model that and simulate it, so there's a chance he can deflect the law straight off the side of it.
Yeah, where the rocket ricochets off of it.
Rickety.
But he's a very close
He's going for it.
Oh, he's got it.
There it is.
Right in the side that was
Sunk it.
They would normally. Oh, Reaper's decided to
The tank's tipping over.
I like how it's cooking off in the water.
It is on fire in the water.
Yeah, that was.
But that's one tank gone.
I do think that was crazy. Once they were across the water, they should have massed with the troops.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They have so much less mobility in the water. It is a vulnerable spot to be in. It's not a position of power that they should maintain.
And Arcor had literally sat camping in that bush the whole time, and then they just delivered him a prize on a velvet cushion.
Just waited for a shot.
Friendly firing Pronix from about 50 meters. I guess he can recognize the Tiger Stripe.
Oh, shots are going over the minigun. Lasering. It was brute.
I think that's
Guns a Go-Go.
That's
Very nice. Or actually, no, sorry, the Guns a Go-Go was the Chinook. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You've got Don here in his own little bunker, watching the northwest and western side.
I'm surprised he's not on the minigun. He does like big machine guns.
Reapers is still alive in the tank.
Oh, and the bunker, he's actually got the
Does that man have a
M14.
shotgun?
Was it actually kind of regarded as too heavy by most of the forces? Was that is that the accurate assumption about them?
No, it's accurate, and it was very solid and still is. It's a very good rifle.
That's what I figured, but there's so many anecdotal stories that just circulate.
Yeah, no, you can engage long-range targets. You've got a 7.62 NATO round and a lot of power, so no, it's excellent. And that developed into our M21 sniper rifle.
I think in the early war they discovered that the wood warped a lot, came away from the metal housings, the receiver, and so they, of course the ultimate thing was to make the thing out of polymer.
Right, you had those, polymer plastic stocks, which, then came into being, and they're still out there,
I've got to give a shout out to Space Cowboy Carl on the north side at Terminal 2. He's launching GLs 400 plus meters behind enemy cover. And if they had to move back as soon as they took fire, they would have been shelled with 40 mil with really impressive accuracy.
I think Blue 4 have come to realize how like the issue that's now arising with the fact that they now realize they've got attacks on pretty much every single side. But that tank kill is going to be huge. And may even shape the rest of this game.
Well, I know you guys said earlier, historically they attacked from the northwest, and now you're watching Op4 and Delta and Charlie starting to maneuver to attack from the northwest, so...
Oh, Whiplash taking out the tank.
Ooh.
That is the tow launcher. Oh, yeah, well, there you go.
What was that with?
That's a tow launcher.
Oh, I wish I'd...
Whiplash did it. I got a pretty nice shot of it on mine. I got a pretty nice shot of it on mine.
About 500 meters with that tow, yeah.
I was Whiplash. No, I think that was the backblast that just annihilated him.
What did he backblast on, though? There's nothing behind him for the gas to go.
It might have just been the fuel, like the hill, and it might have just bounced back up. I know it can be a bit stingy. Because I didn't see him get shot at.
I have to say it's the best tow model I've ever seen in the game. Julia made it for us. She's just a great artist.
Well, now you have 3 rounds of certified person murderer left for that.
I guess he's jumped off it because everyone knows where he is.
I mean,
And,
not a bad idea.
Someone's got to get that. Yeah, someone's got to get that minigun roaring.
Looks like he's already taking fire. There's a lot of blood right beneath that tail launcher. Another one going out.
technically, they don't need the tail launcher anymore. They've got no bunkers or hard points to strike, and all the tanks are down. So
Yeah, but it will do a lot of damage to a squad who's in cover.
Plus, you're assuming that Whiplash knows that both things are down. Arcor taking down that one over on the Cape, so to say. That information may not have been passed back to Whiplash.
I'm surprised Don hasn't decided to just go and take this minigun for himself.
so
It's not, let's watch him.
Yeah,
The round is young.
I hope he does.
historically correct. He's a recoilless rifle at this point, which of course would give them HE rounds to use and frag rounds to use against the infantry.
Oh, look at Arcor, he's doing it.
But we don't have one.
Suck butterfly.
Only an op.
Hey, George, yeah, thanks for the 38-month
Marco's
reset. Hope
hiding in
you've
the
enjoying the
reeds.
operations. Hope you get a nice
He
kick out of
might
this
see
scenario.
Falcon crossing. I went underwater and Falcon looks
Yeah,
like
I know, veteran.
the meme with the monkey swimming.
We're assuming he got shot, but could have been in that class too. You never know. But yeah, for Ace especially.
Attack, they would actually take the 105 howitzers and lower them down and just fire a point.
Direct fire.
Yeah.
Direct fire
that
is the
would
best
be
kind of
the-
fire.
Yeah, with the beehive round.
Damn.
Beehive, is that, I assume
would
similar
clear
to
it.
canister shot?
Yeah, it's basically a whole bunch of small flechettes.
Well, I think you can, guarantee that would take out an enemy position.
Yeah.
And as Jim Shaw 10 said when he was in the A camp, he was a demo guy, so he would go out and put little booby traps all around the perimeter where he knew the NBA would try to, where the cover positions were. And he'd sit there and he had a load of nails with wire going to them. All he had to do was touch the activating wire to each of the nails. Like they were all numbered. And he knew the perimeter. Every time the NBA attacked his camp, nail debt on whoever was in that location.
Just hear a nice boom in the distance.
Someone's getting some really nice shots on Chewie, and Whiplash took down someone next to them. It was Hells. On the MVG guys.
Hearing that about the direct fire with flechettes just makes me think of like Napoleonic warfare, where the cannons and grape shot just would take out scores of men in one blast. I could see the same thing happening in the jungle.
Did they use that in the Civil War as well?
Oh, they did.
Yes,
It was
yes.
canister. Yeah, a little 1-inch shot.
I guess the battlefield
Napoleonic,
covered
too.
in that.
The one seen from Tormagon.
They used to have a chain shot, but that's more for Navy, isn't it? When you're trying to take
Yeah.
someone's rigging down.
Yeah, take the rigging down, everything.
So we're looking at Falcon.
Hey, Redo
on
Jugger, thanks for
Riverbank.
the
He's got
6-month
brass
resub.
mounted K50 with drum mag. That's
Keep enjoying the ops. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario.
I'm watching Don at the moment.
Just finished.
He's just been shot at in his little bunker and he's hit the ground.
McLean now is returning fire with an M60. Glad to see they're getting some action.
Oh, Night Owl's about to walk up straight onto Arcor. I wonder if Night Owl sees him.
Did Arcor just look away at the last second?
Yep.
No. No.
Beautiful.
That happened.
Falcon's heard that. I think, no way, please tell me that did what I just think it did. Thought it did.
Nice try.
Falcon threw a grenade, but obviously when you throw a grenade in the water, the little red thing
The symbol
disappears.
disappears, so you don't know where it lands.
And I thought he threw it and it hit like a tree or a board, just dropped in the water and next to his feet.
Yeah, Falcon's suspicious. He's moving to this elephant grass.
Falcon went right into the elephant grass as Arcor came out. Oh,
Ooh.
Oh.
Falcon found him.
I swear I just watched Arcor die and then wake back up. Like I watched his thing disappear and then just come back. Oh, you have Greg here, probably upset that he lost his tank.
Alright, Arcor was double tapped but not executed. Falcon is still trying and I guess missing.
Makes sense. He gets him KO'd but can't finish the job when he's standing still.
So what do we think the strategy is here right now? Is OPFOR attacking both ends of the camp at the same time in a coordinated
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, they're trying to, as a mass force, I think they're trying to push both sides and squeeze them. But Blue 4 have been putting up a really nice defense, but it's wavering on the western side now.
I think Op 4 is just trying to find where Blue 4 is weakest so they can push in through that area and then flank the remaining defensive positions.
They need to try and pop some smoke to advance and clear that open ground.
Ooh,
That's
look
their
at
best
Greg.
chance right now.
Yeah, Greg is right on
Greg's
top
got
of these
that.
positions.
What gun has he got? He's got the
K50.
yeah, K50, which would be going to be deadly at this, like, you know. Greg's just, he's trying to find a way through it. He's about to find it. He's about to find the split in the barbed wire.
This is actually like real tactics here, because this is what
Yeah.
the NBA sappers would do: is creep up to the wire of the minefield, or Bangalores through the wire, or the wire cutters to get through.
Actually, have Haziah using the rifle grenades on the Moss rifle. Hitting pretty close, but just short of the Blue 4 defenses here on the southern side. But we do have a nice squad of them pushing up to the south of it. This is what we did in that ground mission a couple weeks ago that I mentioned, pushing up the south side and getting
he's the
up close as close as we can to the perimeter.
You also have Falcon, who's joined Greg very close up.
So Vance, the Op 4 marksman, he just sniped the guy next to Parkham. I'm trying to see who it was. It was Recruit Agent. And Parkham just turned around and saw that he got shot.
Blue 4 X-ray coming up on the rear of the southern Red 4 force. This could wipe out the southern attack if they play this correct.
Falcon just got on a firefight. Grenades are being thrown back and forth. There's a grenade attack going on to Poe, Dreek, and Wheaton.
Oh, Wheaton got airburst. Falcon got airbursted there. From the see, you're supposed to Charlie 1 Blue 4 and Charlie 1 Red 4 just pass each other. Barely. Delta 2 with a perfect firing line going on right now.
A little bit of desync going on. G-Legs just tried to breach a bunker and got taken out.
I think it's all the grenades and the fragmentation being calculated on the server.
Oh my god.
But Blue 4 have a 4-man team that are flanking and coming from the rear of the southern Op 4 attack.
Team. They're in a great position to take this force out because they haven't been able to push up and over and into the base itself.
Nades are having a huge problem right now, moving very slowly.
Ooh, nuclear moose gets taken out.
Just attack.
And that is all of X-Ray down.
That team, yeah,
Yep.
that Blue 4 X-ray team absolutely decimated.
I think the desync had a little bit to play with
Jesus.
that, but
I mean, yeah, possibly.
Look at the grenades and the smokes.
yeah.
They're lagging back and forth.
I've seen Poe rubber band about 20 meters. That's
I worry about your smoke mod. Because it looks to me like it's smoke is causing these.
Did it update recently?
The last update to smoke was a good few months ago now.
Don't want to
Ah.
be blaming something that isn't right, you know, but it does, it did seem to coincide.
As long as it's
with
not
lots of these.
prairie fire. I understand.
Yeah, that's right. That's the core.
And all the smoke just disappeared. Yeah, there is something seriously wrong with the smoke, because it was in full bloom and then just all disappeared.
Wheaton was using
that
it, and then it all disappeared, and 2 NVA
Yeah.
guys just annihilated. That's
Yeah,
just
the
tough
engine-
luck.
The engine cleans up all the particles when
Mhm.
there's too many. They're way over the hard limit right now. Shouldn't
Still
really
a little
cause
bit of
lag.
rubber banding, but it's definitely calmed down in relation to what it was doing a minute ago.
I think it was all the ace fragmentation calculations for the grenades, to be honest. There were so many thrown.
Once an armor server has to start playing catch up, it plays catch up for a long time.
Yeah. But what was that, Egg?
You've got ace on. I didn't realise that. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
That explains
No,
a lot.
no, not knocking it. We've got ace devs in our
I
team.
know, just
We get on very well.
There are certain
Right.
things you need to make sure you disable when you're running ace with some of these mods.
But you've got a lot of
Ace is an
players.
amazing mod. Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
well, Redfall have won the southwestern attack, and now it's just up to Delta 2 and Charlie 2 to break down their part.
Yeah, no, exactly, veteran.
Terminal 2 team, like they're really holding out well, and
Yeah, but now they've got their rear to deal with Cosmonaut. Cosmonaut's sitting in the little bunker.
Yeah, I thought his eye was about to come up behind him, but I know his eye is looking because he heard that GL. Here it is. There.
Op 4 have a minigun truck.
Are they going to use it?
I would.
True, I mean, it is a minigun truck.
This is why they should have given it to Don.
Falcon just got another kill to the south. And looks like Op 4 is also starting to push from the north here.
Oh my god, they're not using the minigun truck.
they've also captured the tow launcher.
Oh yeah, they could turn that around and just start slamming it into the
It's very
Some of
useful
those
against
defenders.
bunkers.
Still
Yeah,
has 2 rounds.
it will penetrate concrete.
Are they actually tested? So will the tow launcher penetrate the concrete fortifications?
Yeah. I'm fairly certain. Well,
That would actually be quite
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, there's actually a bit like an after action report of the of an evaluation of the tow
oh,
missile.
Saman's being friendly fired
Yeah,
by
by
Cam right
KMX.
now. Yep, he's
And the
one
other
of,
guy just got knocked out by Cammy.
and he's one of my guys.
Big smoke push coming in from the west now. So they
Our
are.
dwarf is dead.
Whale just got picked off by, I think that was a Whiplash actually. Whiplash or Poe.
So that was
Whoa.
red on red.
Poe just got like another really
That
nice
was on
shot.
Cammy, who already did
Yeah.
red on another guy.
Timek getting involved in a 2v1 and gets them both, Garcia and Montgomery, going down, and Timek receiving a bit of red on red.
Well, now there's a massive push here, and all the smoke effects here are working fine.
Oh yeah, give it a second. Yep. They're all disappearing.
This is what happens when you overdo it in the margin zone. You go over the hard limit on the
Yes.
particle handling, and then it starts behaving.
Ooh,
weird
that
ways.
grenade. Nice high grenade takes out a couple.
Smoke rushes in a co-op are much better in co-op than in
Yeah.
PvP. Because it doesn't have to load it for everyone.
Well, they're
Shea
holding it
getting
down.
knocked out by Anderson.
They're through the wire.
Leclerc and Saplon are the last remainders on this eastern side, apart from Chol, but they're about to be.
Just
That one bunker.
everywhere you look, there is VC in the, NVA in the wire here.
Oh, Poe just taken out.
Yep, Falcon got him.
This seems to be it for Bluefall.
I
This
have to
bunker
say,
right here. Go
Oh,
ahead,
Bay comes up behind Parkham and just.
Go ahead.
this is just like the real battle in a way. I mean, it's warped and it's working.
Well, you did say they destroyed a couple tanks.
Yeah, they got the tanks, but they still got swarmed.
They had more tanks. I'd like to know about the airspace they actually had.
Ooh.
That Molotov, I think, might have been a bad throw.
Yeah,
I
got
think
Kevin
it was.
there.
Yeah, only the MVA have them. Molotovs.
And a satchel charge going off on the perimeter as well.
I want to point out here that the rest of Blue 4 are in a bunker, so now we need Op 4 to get another tank to try to crush it.
And there goes the smoke.
Yep.
and a CS gas grenade through the
Right.
through the door, and then we're right there in history, seeing it repeating.
Check off all of our boxes.
I'm also noticing people are dying. Like Parkham got snuck up. Okay, now it's disappeared. But their things is they're like.
Yeah, his is still showing for me. Babe got him.
Look at Sphere and
I know.
Corvo.
This is the final terminal location, the bunker I was talking about.
Look at them all laying down and.
Falcon and is trying to poke around with that K50, but that Jeep, was that a 1919 or is that a 50 cal? I can't tell.
Real quick, look at
think
the
that's
bunker
empty.
though. You got
Yeah,
Corvo in here, you got Zone, you got Space Cowboy, you got Severe, and then if you look behind Corvo, you got another Blue 4 guy.
Oh. He actually gets one.
What's going on?
The desync is
phasing
strong
around
with
a
this
little
one.
Okay.
He's starting to believe.
What's going on?
Well, see, Red 4 is attacking, so they're throwing grenades into this bunker to try and clear it out. And it's working.
But they're also running in at the same time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Have you look at the guy? There's a guy on top of the boxes.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about for Corvo, the guy next to him. I was like, yes, Blue 4 is defending from every possible angle. And here,
Oh no. He's doing some gymnastics.
I'm seeing all
Where
the
his legs have went.
submachine gunners and the PKM gunners. They're all reloading fresh boxes. They're gonna try another assault. Grenade thrown on the corner.
Also can see Severe through the little gap.
Oh, is there actually? Oh,
Yeah, look.
no.
They're trying to hit each other through the gap. Oh, that's adorable.
This is where
The tracers
White
aren't
Box-
actually coming through. So.
They can't, but they keep getting scared because they think they are.
Gonna try and shoot through the sandbags.
Patriots trying to breach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Willie Pete, CS gas.
Oh, Severe threw a grenade at the wrong time there and got mowed down by the PKM gunner.
That's it. All the blue four are dead. But there's something wrong with the.
There's still so much shooting and friendly fire.
Clear every corner.
These guys are pretty hot, charged up, aren't they? That's what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's all
They
calmed
want to
down.
avenge their brethren.
Well, it is over, but I think the mission's having a few problems at the moment.
Just a few problems.
A little
Once
bit
the
of
terminal's
server
hacked,
desync, it's fine.
It'll
Yeah.
end the mission.
They better all.
Sadly, that was surprisingly like to do a battle.
Yeah. Just a quick update. We are at $3,656.
All right.
Very nice.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
So a little bit of special. This battle could have come out differently if George the Troll Sternberg had been listened to. He's a solid recon guy and a good friend of Tilt's. He was on the team with him. And he actually found the tank tracks in the area and reported it, and was ignored by. Well, in fact, when he went to Saigon for the debrief, they flat out told him he was lying, that he was wrong, and he's lived with that feeling ever since. That,
Oh.
they should have listened to him, and they didn't, and because they didn't, Lang Bay got overrun by the tanks. And he took photographs of the tank tracks with his car 15 in the track to show scale and his own hand. And then they were saying, "Is that your hand? How do you know that's your hand?" They were trying to question every aspect of the intel.
How do you know that's your hand?
Yeah,
That's one hell of a question.
He was
You know, Rob,
describing.
you mentioned one thing about scale photograph with the car 15. What I learned was that the folks back in Saigon had no idea the size of a car 15. And, again, so what we had to do was to figure, okay, what can we put here next to whatever photograph it was that they'll understand? But that's absolutely true. And that came home to roost, through examples like that. So we had to figure something else.
What did you use then? Your own hand or something?
Well, I mean, it had to be a piece of equipment that was common, they'd understand. If you had a weapon that was not unique, like the Car 15 XM17782,